16 Best Places to Visit in Morocco. A gateway to Africa, Morocco is a country of dazzling diversity. You'll find rugged mountain ranges, rolling deserts, ancient cities, deserted beaches and warm hospitality. Epic landscapes carpet this slice of North Africa like the richly patterned rugs you'll lust after in the markets, and Morocco's cities are some of the most exciting on the African continent. Here are the best places to visit in Morocco. Number 1. Marrakesh. Marrakesh knows how to put on a show. Its heady sights and sounds dazzle, frazzle and enchant, as they have done for almost a millennia. Circuses can't compare to the mayhem of the UNESCO-acclaimed Halka street theater in Marrakesh's main square, Djemaa el-Fna. By day, Djemaa draws crowds with snake charmers, acrobats and dentists with jars of pulled teeth. Around sunset, 100 restaurant stalls kick off the world's most raucous grilling competition. After dinner, Djemaa music jam sessions get underway. Audience participation is always encouraged, and spare change ensures encore. Number 2. Fez. The Fez Medina is the maze to end all mazes. The only way to experience it is to plunge in head first. Don't be afraid of getting lost. Follow the flow of people to take you back to one of the two main thoroughfares, or ask a shopkeeper to point you in the right direction. It's an adventure into a medieval world of hidden squares, warrens of workshops and colorful markets. Remember to look up and see intricate plasterwork, ornately carved cedarwood, dazzling mosaic tiles and curly Arabic calligraphy. Number 3. High Atlas Mountains. The High Atlas Mountains are North Africa's tallest mountain range, a trekker's paradise from spring to fall. The range runs diagonally across Morocco for almost 620 miles, 1,000 kilometers, encircling Marrakesh to the south and east from the Atlantic coast just north of Agadir to Khenifra in the northeast. Its saw-toothed peaks act as a weather barrier between the mild, Mediterranean climate to the north and the Sahara to the south. In its highest reaches, snow falls from September to May, allowing for winter sports in Alkimden, while year-round rivers flow towards Marrakesh, creating a network of fertile valleys. Number 4. Chefchaouen Steep in Kabul. The infinitely Instagrammable blue-washed lanes of Chefchaouen's Medina tumble down the mountainside in a shower of red rooftops, wrought iron balconies and vivid geraniums. You could be content for hours just people watching over a mint tea in the cafe-packed main square, lorded over by a grand red-hued Kasbah. Or amble down the riverside walk, shop the souks markets, stroll to the Spanish mosque on the hill or even venture into the surrounding Talasemtane National Park to explore the Rif Mountains. Number 5. Score. Like a carpet of green stretching across the Draa Valley, Score's idyllic Palmeraie, Palm Grove, is crisscrossed by a network of dirt tracks and an age-old Ketara underground irrigation system that supports a surprising bounty of produce that has sustained generation after generation. Tomatoes, mint, pomegranates, apricots, dates, figs, alfalfa and almonds. Studded with historic mud brick Kasbahs, labyrinthine K-Sour, fortified villages, and stylish guest houses with farm-to-fork restaurants, it makes the perfect place to linger and experience unhurried oasis life, barely changed for centuries. Number 6. Draa Valley roads now allow safe, speedy passage through the final stretches of ancient caravan routes from Mali to Marrakesh, but beyond the rocky gorges glimpsed through car windows lies the Draa Valley of desert traders' dreams. The rustling date palms and cool mud brick castles of Zagora, Tamnugal, Timidart and Agdz must once have seemed like mirages after 2 months in the Sahara. Fortifications that once welcomed gold-laden caravans are now open to overnight guests, who wake to fresh bufego dates, bread baked in earthen ovens and a slower pace of life. Number 7 Tafrog. Tafrog is a jumble of pink houses and market streets with extraordinary surroundings. The el-Fna Valley is dotted with palmerais and villages, and the looming mountains stage a twice daily, ochre and amber light show, while the Aid Mansur Gorge is a verdant respite from the red rock. It makes a wonderful base for activities including hiking, mountain biking and seeking out prehistoric rock carvings. If the granite cliffs and oases weren't scenic enough, a Belgian artist applied his paintbrush to some local boulders with surreal results. Number 8 Anti-Atlas Mountains. A sunburnt granite range leading to the Sahara, the Anti-Atlas Mountains remain relatively unexplored. The star attraction for trekkers is the quartz massif of Jebel el-Kes, the Amethyst Mountain, which you can walk to through the el-Fna Valley. Farming villages and crumbling Kasbahs are found around Jebel Akhlem, another of the excellent trekking possibilities in this area of Amazigh shepherds. The landscape has enough variety, from palm-filled gorges to brooding, volcanic Jebel Saroa, to justify multiple. Number 9 Tangier. For the first half of the 20th century, Tangier was one of the Mediterranean's most cosmopolitan resorts, fabled for its hedonistic excesses, but when it was returned to Morocco in 1956, it began to slip into a seemingly inexorable decline. Now the story is changing, and investment is pouring in. There's a swanky new marina, hotels and apartment blocks are springing up around the bay, and streets are being spruced up. But it's not lost its louche air, beloved of the beat generation. Number 10 Essaouira. Easy, breezy Essaouira is Morocco at its most relaxed. It's long been a rich cultural mix, and today visitors are drawn by its honey-colored ramparts, postcard-pretty harbor and enormous swaths of golden sand, where the omnipresent gusts of wind, known locally as alizé, create the perfect conditions for windsurfing and kitesurfing. Stylish ryads, fresh seafood and a fascinating art scene complete the picture. As any local will tell you, Jimi Hendrix was a fan, and you're bound to fall for it. Number 11 Moulay Idriss Sirhoun. Named for Morocco's most revered saint, the holy little town of Moulay Idriss Sirhoun contains the mausoleum of Moulay Idriss and is one of the most important pilgrimage spots in the country. In fact, it wasn't until 2005 that non-Muslims were permitted to stay overnight. It straddles two hills and, whichever side of town you're on, the views across the green-tiled rooftops and out to the rolling countryside beyond, where olive groves produce a fragrant oil, are undeniably pretty, especially in the evening light. Look out for Morocco's only cylindrical minaret. Number 12 Volubilis. Amazigh King Juba II, whose wife was the daughter of Antony and Cleopatra, was installed at Volubilis by the Romans. The town became a thriving farming community producing olive oil, wheat and wine for the ancient Roman army. Today you can still stand on the basilica steps, look out over the same fertile fields and survey his kingdom. A museum has opened, and you can wander fairly freely around this UNESCO World Heritage Site, pausing to peer at the dazzling mosaic. Number 13 Taroudant. The Sousse Valley trading town of Taroudant, with views of both the High Atlas and the Anti-Atlas Mountains, has been dubbed Mini Marrakesh, for its red brick ramparts that change color with the light, but its compact medina and laid-back souks come without the big city hassle. Explore the city walls by horse-drawn caleche carriage, and dip into the ancient Kasbah, stopping off at the Palais Salon, a former Pasha's palace-turned-faded hotel, where you can stroll around the tiled salons and Moorish gardens for the price of a mint tea. Number 14 el-Fna. Leave the madding crowds behind and lope across the desert on a trusty dromedary, savoring the silence, the stellar views and the camel's gently swaying gait. Even if your camel encounter leaves you knock-kneed, you'll manage to scramble to the summit of a sky-high dune at sunset and watch the desert turn gold, pink and purple. The stars have never seemed brighter, and with good reason. At el-Fna, you're not only off the grid but also several hours camel trek from the nearest street lights. Number 15 Casablanca. If anyone tells you there's nothing to see in Casablanca except the Hassan II Mosque, they haven't looked closely enough. A one-of-a-kind fusion of Neo-Moorish and Art Deco architecture dating from the early 20th century, when Casablanca was the jewel of the French colonies, fills the center with pleasing symmetry, sensuous curves and striking tilework, along with post-independence modernist and brutalist buildings. Some have been restored to their former glory while others are sadly neglected. Take a guided walking tour to discover this wonderful heritage. Number 16 Merleft. You can surf all along Morocco's Atlantic coast, but one of the best places to catch a wave is Merleft, a sleepy beach town where the mountains meet the Atlantic Ocean. With a string of pristine, and often deserted outside of Moroccan holidays, beaches and budget-friendly guest houses, it makes a low-key and less windy alternative to Asora. Affordable outfit Spot M takes out experienced and novice surfers for group and individual lessons, and also runs week-long surf camps with yoga thrown in.